the more someone understands 10 Saññā, we will understand the better translation for Saññā later. The more someone understands 10 Saññā, the faster is the recovery. The shorter is the downtime of a sickness, of a surgery, of any treatment. So that is what we are going to learn today. Now, we are discussing this sutta called Girimānanda Sutta, appeared in the Anguttara Nikaya's 10th section, where we see that there's a monk whose name goes by Girimānanda, who was severely sick. And then Bhante Ānanda approached the Buddha and then asked from the Buddha, can you go and bless this Venerable Girimānanda? And what is happening in the story is that the Buddha didn't want to go to that place. So he told Bhante Ānanda, I teach you 10 perceptions, 10 Saññā, and you go and tell him. And then thereby he will be able to recover from the sickness. And then finally, when he explained about the 10 Saññās, perceptions, in the way how the Buddha taught, Venerable Girimānanda was able to understand those 10 Saññās and he was back to normal. Now there are a couple of things we have to learn before. One is, what is the Buddhist attitude of recovering from a sickness? That's number one, which we have to discuss, because many of you at different times of your life may have been sick, may have been diagnosed with a certain sickness, chronic or malign or non-chronic, or maybe day-to-day sicknesses, catching a cold, or maybe another thing. So how does Buddhism look at recovering from a sickness? Are the blessings enough? Are the chanting blessings enough, adequate for someone to get back to normal? On the other hand, we know there are three main suttas, which we understand by Bojjhangas. Three Bojjhanga suttas. Maha Kassapatthera Bojjhanga Sutta, Maha Moggallanattera Bojjhanga Sutta, and Maha Chundattera Bojjhanga Sutta, where we see Arahan Maha Kassapa, Arahan Maha Moggallana, and the Buddha, they all were sick at different times. And by reminding them about the 7 Bojjhangas, Sati, Dhammavicaya, Viriya, Piti, Passaddhi, Samadhi, Upekka, by reminding them about how does the understanding about the 7 Bojjhangas make up the enlightenment, they were able to get back to normal. And there are people who have misunderstanding. They might say this is only for Arahants, so we can't be blessed with these Bojjhangas, which is not. The context of the sutta is about Arahants, the Buddha. But the more someone understands about these 7 enlightening factors, the faster that person can get back to normal. It is about Dhamma understanding about these 7 with your personal life. And apart from these 3 suttas, not many people understand that there is another very interesting sutta about how to recover from a sickness. That's this sutta. And the difference between the 3 Bojjhanga suttas and this one is very huge. When it comes to Bojjhanga suttas, we don't see a lot of Dhamma descriptions within that. It simply says, look at the first Bojjhanga, second Bojjhanga, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. And then just by understanding those Bojjhangas, you may be able to recover. But here in this sutta, what we understand is that Buddha is saying that the more someone understands 10 Saññā. We will understand the better translation for Saññā later. The more someone understands 10 Saññā, the faster is the recovery. The shorter is the downtime of a sickness, of a surgery, of any treatment. So that is what we are going to learn today. Let's understand Saññā. What does Saññā mean? This Pali word, Saññā. Is Saññā a loaded word or a very clear Pali word which has only one meaning? Where have you encountered this Pali word Saññā, or in which context have you encountered this Pali word? The basic interpretation of Saññā appears in the 5 aggregates, Panchakkhandha. There we see Rupa, Vedana, Saññā, Saṅkhāra, Viññāna. Rupa means, now what is the meaning of 5 aggregates? The Buddha says all living beings make up of 5 aggregates. Then what about all non-living beings, inanimate things? What are they made up of? Now look at the screen, look at the Buddha statue, look at your own the chair you sat on. What are they made up with? Do they have Panchakkhandha? What do we see in that? A chair, computer, air conditioner, floor. How do we look at them with the Dhamma? Sentient beings, 5 aggregates. Other things? 4 elements. Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayu. Patavi means all the inanimate things have a solid element. It is more or less. Now the mic has more solid element. It's very solid. Then the Tejo, second is Tejo. Tejo means heat element. Does the mic have a heat element? Yeah, when I keep talking for 1 hour, you can feel like it is getting heated. Then Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Apo. Apo means fluidity. Is there any fluid here? Is there any fluid in the mic? Yes, only when you burn it. Then you see that element is coming out. When it is going to be melted at that time. That's why in all inanimate things, these 4 are appearing more or less. But in this mic context, you see only Patavi prominently. Patavi is very prominent in the mic. And Tejo is not prominent, but you can feel it. Apo is not prominent at all. But if you burn it, you see the melting part. Vayu means motion. Is there a motion here? In the mic? What is the motion here? Now when I talk, there is an encoding, decoding process. Through my words are going to be encoded, decoded into the speakers and into the space. How is it happening scientifically? There is a process. That means there is a certain thing that is going through these elements, through this this particular item. So are all the inanimate things. That means all the inanimate things include 4 elements, more or less. Now going back, 5 aggregates. Saññā. Now here, Rupa, Vedana, Saññā, Saṅkhāra, Viññāna. Rupa means we all living beings, we have a form. Form means this form, kind of an image, right? Then, but what about certain beings who don't have a very manifesting body, like some Brahmas? How is their body like? Can a living being exist, survive without the body? Now you may have heard about Arupavachara Brahma. Brahmas who are not having a body. But Nama Rupa must be present in their body. That means their body part is subtle. Their Nama part is gross. Otherwise, there is no mind without the body. But in the actual consistency of the material, the body, their body part is very subtle. Now, in our life, our body is very solid, gross, and that's why we like to. Now, Brahmas cannot eat our food. Why? Their body is not very gross, subtle body. Devas also cannot eat your food, but you have been offering repeatedly to Devas. Last couple of weeks, thinking that your apples will be eaten by the Devas, oranges, right? Somebody was telling me I've been going to a vihara offering mangoes. I said, why? Because somebody told me Buddha likes mangoes. I said, oh really? How did that person tell you like that? No, I'm so serious about it, I'm so confident. So I have to go to the best place to buy mangoes and then place on the altar of the Buddha. But, okay, but one day the person told me, I've been praying a lot, but my life has been still tough on many aspects. Then what should I do? I said, now you've been telling me that you've been bringing mangoes to the Buddha. Maybe you change mango to apple. Buddha might like it, because now Buddha is very bored of your mangoes. You better change it, right? So in this way, I was trying to tell you the Devas cannot eat these things because their bodies are very subtle bodies. But culturally speaking, we think we can give our food to the Devas. How are we going to give the food to our animals, right? So, in terms of the 5 aggregates, as the form Rupa, then Vedana means feelings. We all have feelings in our bodies, all sentient beings. Then Saññā, the Pali word that we are going to discuss. Saññā means